Hi, my name is Karilyn and I'm a member of the Heart and Hand Memory Makers. And I've been asked to demonstrate distressing techniques that I use, not only in heritage albums, but on other things. Here are just a couple of examples of some things that I've done. This is a heritage page for my husband's husband and his family. And I used our tearing tool. No, this is a cutter blade, a punch. I used ink to make my page look old. I even inked my printed paper just a little bit to make it old. I love the look. And then this is the card kit, the project recipe from the Croptoberfest bundle. And I did all my cards, but before I put them together, I inked the edges with just a tint of red. And I think it just makes, to me, it just makes them stand out and have just a little bit something extra on them. And people that get them will know that you spent just a little bit of extra time on them. So this was a fun project, so I encourage everyone to do that. Now, I'll just show you a few of the things that I do to distress. One of the things is our tearing tool, the Creative Memories tearing tool. I just tore this piece of cardstock. You can take ink, any color you like. And I've got these little handy dandy things that I got from my manicurist. They protect your fingers, so you can take the ink. I'm going to use brown on this. And you have a lot of control. Just hold your paper up, flip, flip, flip. Or if you want, you can actually use the pad and do that. Just adds a little bit of color there to use as a border or somewhere on your page.
Now, is there a difference between the chalk ink and the regular ink, and
Yes.
when you'd want to use those?
If you want to buy ink, I would buy ink that is called chalk ink or distressing ink. Stamping ink is a little bit wet, a little bit wetter, and it's harder to control, and you might actually have to set your piece aside to dry a little bit before you put it on your page. But with the chalk ink, you would not have to do that. And you could also, like I did on the page I showed you, that was a pure white piece of paper, and I didn't like the way it looked with the old pictures, so I took the ink and I just kind of made it dirty looking and old looking just by barely touching my paper. Doesn't take much, but if you want a lot, you can do a lot. Another distressing technique that I think is really fun is just literally to tear the paper. And I have started this one here. You just hold it in your hand and tear it. You get a really fun edge. And then you come back, ink it. If you want to go even farther, after you get it inked, you can kind of just, get rough with it. Roll it up. You can even tear it a little bit, as you can see that I've done here. And if you want more ink, put more ink. And you could actually even just save that and ink it and use it somewhere on your page. And also on this printed paper. Let's dirty it up. See the difference? Gives you all a whole different look. Use your punches.
Yeah, that's one of the circle punches.
Yeah, this is the circle punch. That will be a pretty background behind an old picture, but it doesn't have to be brown. This picture actually has a real pinkish tint to it, so I could use a different color of ink and kind of just do that. I hope you can see this in the picture. That is distressing that. Another tool. I've inked this side. And I literally just cut this out. Protect your paper surface and just rub over it. as little or as much as you want, any color you want.
That's one of the border punches.
Right. And this is our trimmer, different blades from the trimmer. And they actually look, using that on your mats or on the page actually looks really good with the old pictures, because a lot of old pictures already have that. And here's some black ink that we're going to just do that. You can also pick it up and just play with it. It's just fun. It's just fun to do different things to your pages. You could add this on your page. Again, let's do or pick it up. Barely touch the edges. Let's just do the tip. It just adds a little bit of more dimension to your project. Here's a couple of things that I have started. And this is a border punch that I punched out, and I started inking the edges there. Again, just hold your paper carefully and go over it as much as you want. And then this is our Infinity, is it?
It's the Infinity Border Maker cartridge.
And you can tell I've inked part of it, and I actually got it pretty dark. This is this cinnamon paper, the same as this. And I wanted this to really show up, so I inked it a little bit darker. If you don't like it, you can always flip it over. You know, play around with it. Have fun. That's what scrapbooking is all about. And with this kind of color, you could use any color mat you want, and you could even ink these mats. So just darkens them up. Look how pretty. How it's going to show. It's going to make your pictures pop. And to me, this inking is just relaxing. Sometimes I will get several pieces that I need to ink and just sit and do them while I'm watching TV at night or something. And
de-stress with distressing?
Yes, I de-stress with distressing. Here's another idea that I'm going to do on a heritage page. This is my aunt who died very, very young. And again, this is old cherished paper, but I love it. I love it. So, because it's kind of got a pink and she's very feminine, I'm going to do this page for her in this pink. And I am actually distressing the edges with pink ink. So you don't have to use brown. You don't have to use black. You can pick any color that matches your pictures. And because I love this detail on her dress, I'm going to put lace on this somewhere. I don't know if I'll use that, or I might use this or this. I don't know. But if you're doing lace, you would do it similar to the other things. Lay it on a protected surface, get your ink, and just color it as much as you want. I'm going to do this I'm not going to do it real heavy. I just want it to add a little bit of something to the picture, or to the scrapbook page. Probably will put that there. If you're using something like this, you could use this, an old hanky, a fishnet for a man, just something that reminds you of that person. You want to make sure that you don't put your picture directly on top of that, because we don't know that this is acid-free. It probably is not. So always put a buffer there, and, you know, put your heritage albums or heritage pieces that remind you of that family member on there, and just makes it more fun and memorable. Okay, you're going to be getting these little packets to practice with. So I would say just have fun. You're going to get one of these little handy-dandy tools. Do whatever you want with it. If you want to just darken it like this, do that. Sometimes I have even wadded something up just a little bit and spread it back out. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes you may not like it. Lace, just ink. This is a good one to practice inking on because it's a dark piece, but you can make it just a little bit darker around the edges with your ink. And it's very interesting. And this one also, just, it shows the rough edge. I think this is the decal cut. So these are here just for you to practice. If you have any questions, you can find Katrina and she will help you. Go out and buy some ink. It's fun. Thank you. I hope this was very helpful.